Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a good one. Let's start off with the irrelevant side trip information first before I get to my topic. Um, First thing is that it's February, the first week of February. Why in the F are there wasps already? One's managed to get in the house, and I'm allergic to their stings, and it was in here. And I saw it and I went to find some spray to kill it with. We only have some this organic ant spray stuff. And by the time I got back, it had, of course, hidden itself out. So I just figured, I got these little bouncy ball things and I threw it at the blinds and then it flew at me and I managed to spray it. And then I didn't want the thing to suffer because the spray is for ants, not wasps. And then I just went and got a Presto log and dropped it on it. It's amazing how well I can throw when I'm scared or I'm angry. I don't throw like a girl anymore. Second topic is I opened a third YouTube account. The first YouTube account, I've made way too many snarky comments on videos that I want that to be associated with having a YouTube account to promote my books. And the second YouTube account, I can't figure out how to log into it. It's just log into one computer at work and I don't remember the password and all of that information. So I started the third one, which I'll share the link as soon as I get some stuff up on there, some content, including this video today. And by the way, you'll recognize this band if you know this band. And I'm curious to see, that spray is killing me. If YouTube is going to pick this up as a copyright violation because of the music in the background. I hear mixed reviews about YouTube. Anyway, the topic I was going to talk about today was I had written a scene that I'm not intending on putting in Thrice unless I put it like at the end as kind of like a blooper reel. So what had happened was between 2005-06 and 2010, after the very rapid divorce of Gemma and Sebastian, she had basically blocked him. She told him, don't contact me in any way, shape, or form. Just don't contact me at all. Not a letter, not a text, not a phone call, none of that. And she could have just stayed on this path forever. But then one day, in 2010, she's just enjoying her morning. She's probably off work that day. She's drinking a cup of coffee. She's reading a newspaper. And she hears this thump. You're going to have to forgive my voice. It's just, this spray is messing it up. I can't quit coughing. She looks toward the source of the noise, and there's exactly one book on the floor. It come off the bookshelf. And she just gets these chills, because it's like, yeah, sure, they might have an earthquake here in France every now and then, but I've seen the earthquakes in San Francisco back when I lived there, and it didn't look like this. It wouldn't just push one item off. And not only that, the book is laying open like that, and there's an object in between the pages. And it was the earth, but not an earthquake, but my sentient earth that said, come on already, lady. You got to get over it. Talk to that guy again. Because that's not in the plan for her to never talk to him again. It's Earth's plan that they reunite. So she gets up, she walks over to see what the object was, and it was a title she had abandoned. A title she had abandoned about a decade prior. She just got tired of the book. Maybe it was boring, whatever, bad book. And the bookmark turned out to be a Polaroid photograph of Sebastian in 1986. And he's sitting in a bathtub in a hotel. And he's, pretending to be like really scared, with a stretched out mouth and fingers up to his lips. Because he was already an actor by then, even though he hadn't gone into acting yet. And what the circumstance of this was that Sebastian's band Thrice, they were doing a tour stop in Jacksonville, Florida, and they had gotten to this kind of grubby hotel that was invaded with those palmetto bugs, and they're flying cockroaches basically. And he saw one of those and just screamed in terror and took Gemma's Aqua net and sprayed it and unalived it. But then the room was so foggy with hairspray, they went into the bathroom, shoved the towels under the crack of the door, and slept the night sitting up in the bathtub, so they just wouldn't choke to death like I am currently doing on fumes. And the next day, Gemma, her tailbone was so sore that she could barely move. And of course, a little bit later on down the road, that seemed funny to the both of them. But just this realization hit her that she had sacrificed so much to follow Sebastian around for all those years. It was always about Sebastian the singer, Sebastian the actor, and his fame and his glory. She never got to have a career of her own where she got the glory and the spotlight. And yes, she will admit that she willingly did follow him. But to make any kind of choice, you're going to sacrifice something else. And she just felt like she sacrificed so much to do what he wanted all the time. And then they have one disagreement. And of course, Sebastian's having a mental collapse, so it had a lot to do with it. And he bluffs and says, if you're going to abandon me for 3 years, abandon me going and doing her own thing for 3 years in another country that's only an English channel away from the country he wanted them both to go to. So could have just taken a hopper flight. But he's just acting like it's just this big deal, like she's going to Antarctica, not to France. And when he says that, she calls the bluff and she goes and files for divorce. And they're both very stubborn people. And they had to be very stubborn people to survive all those years when they were young. Basically in the streets of Sydney, they worked day labor. Like, it took them years and years to finally get established with the thrice. So they were almost, I think Sebastian might have been 30. And then I guess Gemma would have been 28. But anyway, all of a sudden, all this anger she's been shoving down by pretending she's not angry, pretending she's not hurt. She's just indignant. And then she says, well, the way I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to move to France. I'm going to get in the pastry school, which she does. And I'm going to be the best one in school, which she is. And then when she got her certificate or whatever, I don't know much about that. She got all these job offers almost immediately, and then she's like the head pastry chef at this restaurant where she works, and then she's like in this beautiful city of Lyon, and she's out there trying to interact with people, and she casually dates guys, some of them even younger than her. And that's the way she's just suppressing these feelings. Because in her stubborn mind, if she feels the feelings, then Sebastian got what he wanted and won again. So then all of a sudden, when she sees this photograph, all the anger hits her all at one time, like a ton of bricks. And she just gets enraged. So she goes into her phone, she unblocks Sebastian's number, sitting there with like, literally, she's sitting here, all this anger, and she's just ready to rip him into shreds. And like I said in the video before, she couldn't do it when he answered the phone and sounded so happy to hear her voice. All of a sudden, that anger just dropped right back out. Pop. Like the light bulb finally just popping out. Of course, she's still hurt, and then all the years later, 2024, 2010 to 2024, all those years later, when Sebastian gets back to Glasgow and she goes to visit him, and not intending on them to like reunite, if you know what I mean, and he gets down on one knee and begs for her forgiveness and tells her he never stopped loving her. At first, she's starting to scream at him again, and then she starts crying. And then they go hash it out. This is my side of this divorce story. This is your side of the divorce story. A lot of details that Sebastian didn't remember because he with a mental collapse, and Gemma has the exact memory. She did not forget not one detail about what was going on. Well, the next day when they got up late in the morning and Sebastian's making her coffee and a mimosa and making her breakfast, and he asked her about the photograph. She had mentioned this photograph made me so angry and I just wanted to cuss you out, but I couldn't do it because I never stopped loving you and I could never hurt you on purpose. And she told him about the photograph, and she said, well, pretty much I did whatever you wanted and catered to you. When you were grumpy, I knew what to do. You know, when you were in a fit of passion, I knew what to do. I knew how to soothe you. That was my goal. And then all of a sudden, you just threw me away like trash. And that's exactly how she puts it. And she needed to say that, and Sebastian needed to hear that, and he's horrified because he knew it was true. And he told her he was going to spend the rest of his life trying to make it up to her because he's really, really repentant and just wishes that he could have gone back and just changed some things, which if he had even just simply gone to a therapist when he was having this mental collapse, then they may not have ever split up. However, that's not what I, as the author, would have wanted for Gemma, because I wanted her to go get to be autonomous and get to, you know, play the field, and she'd only ever been sexually with Sebastian. She'd never been with any other guy, so I wanted her to date, and I wanted her to have her own space and, you know, make new friends outside of entertainment, and she gets to do that, and then Sebastian gets to mature, and he gets to realize that he needs some help. On top of the childhood abuse he endured, the attack on his person, he says, I need some help. And he goes and he seeks it finally. Yay! You know, he's of that generation, you only go to therapy if you're crazy, which is not true. Anyway, I'm going to go down, I think in a couple of hours, to get some teriyaki, and then I'm going to go to Frelli's and write some more. Hope everyone has a good day.